Well, like the rest of you, I woke up this morning with the news of what happened in Venezuela. And let me be very clear about what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. This that I'm about to discuss is not a debate about whether the mission was executed flawlessly. But our system was never designed to judge success by how well something was carried out on one man's order. It was designed to judge legitimacy by whether power moved through process, through Congress, public debate, and shared responsibility. And nothing about congressional authorization diminishes precision, professionalism, or effectiveness. What it does is distribute ownership so that the nation, not just one office, bears responsibility for what comes next. Because now, we're not just talking about an operation, we're talking about managing a transition government. And we need to be honest with ourselves and with our history. When exactly has that worked out well for us? When has removing a leader and improvising what follows ever produced long-term stability? When has it not unleashed forces we thought we understood but didn't? This isn't theoretical. We've lived this repeatedly over the past 50, 60 years. That's why the Constitution exists, not to stop action, but to force the hardest conversations before action, when confidence is high and success feels assured. This is precisely the type of moment the Constitution was written for. Ignoring that process is risky, not just for what comes next in Venezuela, but for the legitimacy of the current operational success itself. Because once outcomes start unraveling, execution no longer shields us from consequences. And more importantly, bypassing process is deadly to a constitutional republic. History warns us about this. There's a great story, several thousand years old story, of a king who once asked the Oracle of Delphi whether he should go to war. The oracle replied, "If you cross the river, a great empire will fall." Well, the king heard that and exactly what he wanted to hear. He marched forward, full of confidence, justification, rationale, certain. And a great empire did fall. It was his. So in the short term, Maduro might have needed to go. That's not the question. The question is whether we mistook confidence for wisdom and execution for legitimacy. That is exactly why our Constitution demands process, especially when everything seems to be going right. Revive the Republic. Take care.